A race car, no matter how rare, how valuable, how sought after, needs but one thing: a racetrack. Without one, it's a sculpture in a museum. With one, it's alive. And in August of 1974, Laguna Seca gave these race cars a chance to be reborn.
Here we are on a fairly typical race morning on the Monterey Peninsula with the fog rolling in off the bay over the beautiful Laguna Seca racetrack. And what we're going to see here is something very special. Decades of motor racing history actually out there on the track in the loving hands of the owners of these cars. It's a great spectacle.
Some 35 years ago, a group of enthusiasts with old race cars that they still wanted to run created the Monterey Históricas, and it has grown to be the single biggest vintage racing weekend in all of North America. As vintage racing was growing in popularity, so too was the sport of car restoration and car collecting, and there was a divergence. Over at Pebble Beach, they started the Concours d'Elegance for enthusiasts who wish to restore and preserve their cars in their original state as pristine as possible. Over here, atop what used to be Fort Ord, the Laguna Seca Raceway took cars that used to be fiercely run in competition, but were no longer competitive, and turned them into the new sport of vintage sports car racing, where these cars could be enjoyed not in a museum setting and not in their pristine shininess, but as they were raced in anger.
There won't be much bumping or reckless passing out on the track, but other than that, it's racing, and there's a winner and a loser. And these guys still race to win. A day at the Monterey Históricas is a car lover's dream. It's a place where you can not only get to see history in motion, you can walk around and literally touch it. GRAN TURISMO creator Kazunori Yamauchi takes a stroll back in time.
これかっこいいね。アルピーヌです。で、僕が、今回見られた F1 の中で一番嬉しかったのがこのマシンですね。ティレルの6輪車です。すごく懐かしいですね。ちょうどこの頃に、僕は F1 を知って、でそれからしばらく F1 に関しての興味が遠ざかってたんですけれども、で80年代の終わりに、ホンダが参戦して、また F1 に戻ってきたという感じですね。今でも F1 の、ビッグファンですけれども、でも僕の F1 歴はこういった車から始まったという感じですね。
The Tyrrell, 6 more reasons why this event is one of a kind.
There are other events like it around the country, but the combination of factors, including the history of road racing on the actual streets of Monterey here on the peninsula, plus this great racetrack and all the other events of Car Week here on the peninsula, including the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance, makes this a very, very special event.
Here in America, there are vintage events in Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, Lime Rock, Connecticut, Watkins Glen, New York, and other circuits around the country. But combine those events just begin to equal what happens here at the Monterey Históricas. When you combine world-class drivers, amateur racers, and such a breadth of cars ranging from about 1912 right up into the late 1980s, you have an event here, a moving museum of automotive racing history and excitement that's just unmatched anywhere.
So what makes a race car eligible for the Monterey Históricas?
Well, I suppose that's one of the great mysteries, is how you get invited. The idea is to create a catalog of cars, if you will. You want the paddock to be as entertaining and as diverse as you can possibly make it. So I'm sure the organizers are looking for cars that you just won't see anywhere else. Something that'll give them that extra touch of historical relevance as well as entertainment value for the folks on the track.
すごいな、こんな車がありました。これステファン・ベロフが乗ってた、ポルシェの956ですね。グループ C カー。
Cars are invited to participate in the Monterey Históricas based on several criteria. First of all, was it a significant race car during the day?
でしかもこれね83年ですから、ニュルブルクリンクで最後にグループ C が走った年ですね。
Did it have a successful competition history?
この車でおそらくベロフは、ニュルブクリンクの、北コース、オールドコースのコースレコードをマークしているはずです。
Was it driven by a famous driver whose name fans would recognize?
でベロフはここで、ニュルブクリンクで、コースレコードを出して、その後に、不幸にも、事故で亡くなってしまうんですよね。まだすごく若いドライバーだったんですけれども、天才ドライバーだったと思います。
And finally, and most importantly, is the car restored to the original specification when it raced as new? That's very important, and it's policed by Steve Earle's organization, but also it's policed by the drivers and racers themselves.
In other words, there are no losers out here. Each and every race car on the track today has a pedigree as long as the front straight. However, not all cars this weekend are to be handled with care. Case in point, the Race of Legends charity run, where some of the best drivers in the world, both past and present, prove that even a couple scions can deliver racing worthy of the day. Starting from the back of the field, current F1 driver Timo Glock is victorious, even over defending champion Derek Bell. But as we have learned, he had a little help.
で、今日僕が、ティモにお聞きしたかったのはですね、彼はグランツーリスモの大ファンだっていうふうに聞いたんですけど、それ本当ですか？
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I played I don't know how many hours to learn tracks like Laguna Seca, like Nürburgring Nordschleife, and you have so many different cars, and they all behave like real on the track, and that's quite impressive. And it's just a good game, and I enjoyed it every time playing it, and I'm still playing it.
さっき、F1 ドライバー、元 F1 ドライバー、だけで、レースをして見事ティモ、かなり後ろのグリッドからスタートしましたけど、最後は優勝しましたよね。あれはやっぱり GT4 でラグナセカを練習した成果なんでしょうか？
It's a big help because I never drove here in Laguna Seca on that track, and yesterday we had just 5-6 laps to practice. And when I came here, I knew exactly where I have to go and what speed you have to go through the corners, because you can just simulate it really well with GRAN TURISMO 4. That was the main reason why I won, maybe.
Today's technology has reached unheard of levels, whether it's on the track or it's on the virtual tracks of GRAN TURISMO. But to truly grasp where automobile racing has gone, we must hold on tightly to where it has been. The Monterey Historic Races, Laguna Seca, California.